Can't wait to get our rating. Hope we're like a hippo or a dingo.
I bet we'll be a frog.
Ooh, we could be a frog.
Or a newt. We're going to be something insulting.
Yeah, we'll be like an iguana.
I think we'll be worse. I don't know where they rank iguana,
Be
but
a crocodile for killers.
So what are you going to do now? Go back to the KGB?
well, I've decided to go permanently
want me to do?
unzipped.
Did you ever think about coming back to America?
I can't go back. I've left America behind me.
But you saved this country.
I didn't do it alone.
And I still owe you a dinner.
Is that part of your mission too? Or is it an order? Or is it an invitation?
It sounded to me like an invitation.
Or a proposal?
All the same thing.
I don't take orders from anyone now.
Guys,
You dropped your glasses.
why?
Wow.
The kind of thing that only happens in movies. Like, guys, clean up the wine. That's gonna stain.
That's gonna stain.
That's red wine, guys.
You're gonna lose your deposit.
It's a tiger rug. Switch it off, Snake. Switch it off. Woo! Oh, Jesus. Ava, that was developed by the NSA.
That was the president on the line.
From that day onward, he would always sleep with his eye patch.
From that day onward, he would always sleep on a tiger skin rug.
Tiger skin rug. Alone.
Wow, she's gone.
Scholars tell us that the first spy in history was the snake in the book of Genesis. In that story, it was Eve who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden.
Scholars
This time
say
around,
that?
It was I who tempted the snake and got away with the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Forgive me, snake.
Did she take the philosopher's thing?
That's what it sounds like.
Wait, so he lost the thing and they still make him big boss?
Well, he prevented World War III.
Sure, but it's about the money. Come
Hey!
on.
Good morning, Snake. I hope you slept well.
She recorded a reel-to-reel?
First of all, I have to
1964.
apologize.
I
hadn't
wasn't
invented
sent by
voice
Khrushchev.
memos.
I'm not a KGB spy, and I never worked for the NSA.
I'm an agent of the People's Republic of China for the General HQ 2nd Department of the People's Liberation Army. It was all a lie. I tricked you. And I'm sorry. 'Cause 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 'Cause
The philosophers still exist in China, too. You see, my mission was to find out where Volgan was hiding the philosopher's legacy and steal it. So I infiltrated his base as a KGB spy. The 2 NSA codebreakers who defected in 1960 were actually both men. The real Adam never showed up at the meeting place, saving me the trouble of having to eliminate him. I sneaked in by pretending I was Eva.
Yeah, if you pay attention during this scene, she doesn't
You
actually
and
ever
Ocelot
tell him
and
the secret
Volgan,
code word she's supposed
you
to
all
know
believed
when
me.
they meet up.
The philosopher's legacy was originally held in common between the US, Soviet Union, and China. We couldn't let the Russians and the Americans take it all for themselves. The Chinese government had its eye on the legacy, too. I got the film containing the legacy, and also the nuclear missile launch data from the Shagohod. 5 years ago, the Soviet Union stopped supplying us with nuclear weapons technology. Since then, China's Liaodong easing, hydrogen bomb, and space rocket projects have fallen behind. But with this data, our country will be able to develop its own nukes. We'll create a deterrent force to rival those of the US and Soviet Union. Everything has gone according to plan, thanks to your help. I, too, am one of the philosophers. I'm an agent of the philosophers, a graduate of one of their charm schools. I was raised in a joint US-Soviet-Chinese facility to become a sleeper agent. This was before the war. Back then, they were collecting children from all over the world. As a result, I'm indistinguishable from a native-born American. So it didn't surprise me when you and Volgan couldn't tell the difference. But she knew right from the beginning. She knew because before the war, she was at one of the philosopher's schools too, as an instructor. The boss was the only one I couldn't fool. She was the only one who knew I was a fake. She told me everything. Why did she open her heart to me like that? At the time, I couldn't understand it. But now, I think I do. Snake. She wanted you to know the truth. She chose me to tell you. That's why she saved my life. I've lied to you so many times, but not this time. My orders from the government were to obtain the legacy.
This is what I mean.
And
This
to
is crazy.
eliminate
She just
everyone who
recorded
knew
it
the
right
truth
there.
of what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm supposed to kill you. But I can't do it. Not because we loved each other,
Why not?
and not because you saved my life,
Why not?
Oh, because the boss.
but because I made a promise to the boss.
Wait,
And I
what was
intend
that?
to keep it. I just wanted you to know.
It could be a
And
encoding device
you have to
to
live.
destroy it so they can't get their hands on the code cipher or whatever. I think there's more.
Frank says Kojima borrowing the Vesper Lind twist to complete his Bond homage. I've never seen a James
Oh,
Bond
I
movie.
haven't seen that one.
Snake, listen to me.
But this is
She
hardly a
shouldn't betray
twist.
the United States. No, far from it. She was a hero who died for her country. She carried out her mission knowing full well what was going to happen. Self-sacrifice.
That's
that
paramedic
was
and
her duty.
SIGINT, Major Zero.
I can't wait to talk to that girl about movies.
One very, very special man for Snake to meet. The scene we've all been waiting for.
Is that Lyndon Beef Johnson?
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title Big Boss.
Yes! Yes! LBJ named him Big Boss.
Of course it was Lyndon
You
Beef Johnson who dubbed us
patriots.
Big Boss.
Now let me show you another Big Boss. Zip. Oh,
Snake meat hog.
check it out, though. Check it out. Look. Oh, shit.
What?
I always remember this scene as he doesn't shake Johnson's hand, but
Oh,
I guess
that's
he
weird. No,
he
he
does
totally
it
does.
reluctantly.
Was it reluctant?
Yeah.
It just looked like he
He's-
waited a second.
The thing here is like he is now bitter towards the American government for sending the boss to her death, basically. He's like, I'm a hero, but all I fucking did was like kill my mom.
But then doesn't he just do the same thing to Snake? To regular Snake?
But maybe we start to understand here in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Why it's important for
Big-
America to keep being the
No.
worst country on the planet?
No. This is where Big Boss starts to turn against America. This is where we realize Big Boss maybe never was that much of a bad guy.
Sneaking missions for us.
Maybe.
A man who combines the qualities of a soldier and an agent.
A
The
Sagent.
boss's defection was a ruse set up by
A
the U.S.
snake
government.
agent.
It was all a big drama staged by Washington so they could get their hands on the philosopher's legacy. And the boss was the star of the show. They planned it so that they could get the legacy that Colonel Volgin inherited and destroy the Shagohod at the same time. Only a legendary hero like the boss could have earned Volgin's trust. Finding out where the philosopher's legacy was hidden was to be her greatest mission. Everything was going according to plan. But then something happened that no one could have predicted. Colonel Volgin fired an American-made nuclear warhead at Sokolov's research facility. Khrushchev demanded that the US government provide proof that it wasn't involved. They couldn't just abort the operation to steal the legacy. So the operation itself was greatly expanded and revised. The authorities in Washington knew that in order to prove its innocence, they'd have to get rid of the boss, and that one of their own would have to do the job. The public couldn't be allowed to find out about it. Not ever. This,
Okay,
they
I guess that
concluded, would
makes
be the
sense.
best way to keep the whole thing under wraps. The boss wouldn't be allowed to come back home alive, and she wouldn't be allowed to kill herself. Her life would be ended by her most beloved disciple. That was the way the government wanted it. That was the mission she was given, and she had no choice but to carry it out. Her death at your hands was a duty she had to fulfill. Out of duty, she turned her back on her own comrades. A lesser woman would have been crushed by such a burden. The taint of disgrace will follow her to her grave. Future generations will revile her. In America as a despicable traitor with no sense of honor. And in Russia as a monster who unleashed a nuclear catastrophe. She will go down in official history as a war criminal. And no one will ever understand her. That was her final mission. And like a true soldier, she saw it through to the end.
Please show us
But
a
I
headstone
think
that
she
says
wanted you,
boss.
of all people, to know the truth. She wanted to live on in your memory. Not as a soldier, but as a woman. But she was forbidden
Are
to
you
does.
are you allowed to just leave
No.
automatic riflery in
That's why she
Arlington
told me.
National Cemetery?
I do not believe so.
Snake. History will never know what she did. No one will ever learn the truth. Her story, her debriefing,
Her story.
will endure only in your heart.
This is our nation's first great herstory.
Everything she did for her country. She sacrificed her life and her honor for her native land. She was a real hero.
Ah, it's an anonymous grave
Patriot.
that no one will ever find and have questions about. A patriot who saved the world?
Ah, it's pretty good. It's a good one. This stuff comes fast and furious.
Sigint joins ARPA.
Sick. He takes part in the development of ARPANET.
Yep.
Way to go, Sigint.
Paramedic establishes the nation's first paramedic system in Seattle, Washington.
Ava disappears without a trace in Hanoi.
Yeah.
Major Zero disbands Fox.
United States accumulates the remainder of the legacy. The Philosophers changes its name to the Patriots. Big Boss
Establishes
Foxhound.
L'Infanterie Project.
I don't remember what that is. Is that
That's the cloning project.
Yeah, okay. The sons of Big Boss are born.
Dun, dun, dun. Get one last phone call? Oh, we'll have to wait till after the credits for one last radio call, I think. What is this, the Silent Hill credits now? Does this totally sound like
Yeah, it does.
something that would happen at the end of Silent David Hayter, rest in peace. You were assassinated by the boss. By Konami's agents.
I'm struggling with the end of this because I think that the twist at the end is cool. And I like that they foreground it with a twist that isn't really a twist. Like, the fact that Eva betrays you is like, I think the first thing that I knew was going to happen about her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is, they foreground it so
Juggling
heavily.
Pepper Zero Magical Tom? Pepper Zero and Magical Tom were credited for juggling? What's going on?
Oh, that must have been the mocap for Ocelot.
The revolver.
Yeah, the revolver.
Yeah, the revolver juggling. Okay.
But the thing that it does is that it essentially makes like all the build up and boss stuff during her boss fight like meaningless because it was all fake.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's one of those things it feels impactful the second time you see it because you know what's going on. I don't know. You're right. There's so much that gets revealed right at the very end. It feels like it sort of negates a lot of the story up to that point.
Yeah, but all of it.
But at the same time, we were also complaining that the story wasn't that good. So
yeah,
it wasn't like
nice that they pulled it out in the end to like have a really interesting twist. And the scenes with Big Boss, or not, the scenes with Boss were the best scenes in the game.
Yeah.
Like I think every single scene with Boss was better than every single scene without her. Like, I don't think that there was a scene that she was in that was worse than some other scene.
No, the boss is really the star of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with how the boss is handled is, like you've expressed so many times throughout the game, is that until the very end, none of her motivations make any sense, and you're like, what's this person's fucking deal?
Yeah, so the reveal at the end that it was all this like quickly constructed ruse in order to like excuse herself from this nuclear strike. Like, she has to die because the Americans can't go like, okay, yes, we did have a secret agent working with Sokolov. No, not Sokolov. What's the final name? Volgin. Yes, we did have a secret agent working with Volgin, but she was totally not involved when Volgin shot that nuclear warhead. So I get.
Or no, it's to prove that the boss was involved, but that she wasn't acting under the orders of the United States.
That's what I'm saying. That you can't sell that as like, yes, she was there, but no, she wasn't involved.
Yeah.
So they had to limited hangout. Like, yes, we did have a secret agent there, but it's because she was rogue.
Yeah,
and we're gonna kill her.
They had to kill her to prove that.
So the fact that her nonsensical motivations were actually a hastily generated cover story in order to make her seem like an evildoer.
Nightmare Game Guy Savage unit.
It weirdly does fix some of the narrative issues with the game, but it doesn't sort of dissolve the fact that a lot of the game happens with these narrative issues where it's like, no one's doing anything that makes it. Like, the last game made so much sense to me. All of the stuff that people did, I was like, yep, I totally understand everything that's happening.
Well, is that true?
Yeah. I mean, it's not saying that I predicted, but just that when things happened, I felt like they made sense.
Okay.
At least for the most part. That's my memory is like not being like, why
So
is anybody doing any
Toyota
of
is getting
this?
so many credits.
Who is?
So Toyota, so many credits.
Oh, wow.
Of course, we've still got one more radio call to get through, so this could completely change it could turn the whole thing on.
It could.
Yeah, when I played this game originally, it left me with the impression of like, okay, so Big Boss was like a good guy before he later became evil. When does that happen? But then if you play Metal Gear 2, the 2D game that came out before Solid 1.
Right.
That game, Big Boss is the villain of that. But like every smaller boss you run into who works for Big Boss is like, they give you this like monologue about how like, oh, you don't understand. The boss is actually, he helped us. He's really good. Like we were like attacked. Our village was destroyed by Americans and we were left for dead, but the boss came and saved us and gave us a
Playboy
home.
and Rabbit Head design trademarks.
Yeah. Godzilla.
Well, that is
credit for Godzilla.
one of the things that ties these games together is this idea that like being an enemy of the United States is not necessarily being a villain.
Yeah.
That is, I think, something that's been
Calorie
in all three of
Mate.
these games. Shout out to Calorie Mate. Yeah, I don't know anything about Metal Gear or Metal Gear 2 or any of the future Metal Gear Solid games. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Weirdly, after this, there was a PSP game that takes place right after 3 that was released before 4.
Turning the volume on the music down a little.
That was Portable Ops. Portable Ops came out and it was not like Kojima wasn't heavily involved, but it was supposed to be canon. Like it was supposed to like fill in the gap between 3 and 4, but I don't remember it really doing that. And then Peace Walker kind of ignores that game's existence.
Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace.
What?
I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time has finally arrived. Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations. Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed.
What's this fucking?
Brezhnev.
No, not Brezhnev. Oh, maybe Brezhnev. I thought maybe he was working for the fucking FBI guy. Or the CIA guy.
I think he's working
Yes,
for
it's
the
me.
Philosophers. Like the Russian arm of the Philosophers.
The boss has accomplished her mission.
Oh, he's working for
What?
both.
The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us in
Whoa.
America's hands.
Wait.
With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived.
Huh.
The film we handed the Chinese was a fake.
Oh my
Peking must be in
god.
an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes.
You're talking about Snake
That's
Kid,
right.
The chat is making fun of Ocelot for being a double agent, but I think by my count, this makes him a triple agent.
I believe he is a triple agent.
Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday.
There's only one problem. It's missing a pair of legs.
Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them.
Hey, triple crossing, there you go. I guess this makes him
continue my
quadruple
activities
cross.
as a contact for the new government.
He's admitting to being triple crossing.
Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam.
Whoa.
Adamska.
Of course.
Oh
I'm
yeah, they
always
just
at
tell
the
you. Huh?
CIA's disposal.
By the time he said his name
Mr.
was
Director.
Adamska, I had totally forgotten about Adam.
Who is the director of the CIA in 1964? Or is the... We were a crocodile. I was right.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I probably remember because I
did the CIA
always
even
get
exist
this.
yet? Yeah, I guess it did. Because there was an agency that it was called before it was called the
Right,
CIA, and I just don't
right.
remember what that was. 64. That would be John McCone. Who cares about that? This guy doesn't sound.
Sounds fake.
Sounds fake.
I would have already heard about him if he mattered. Or it's the director of the Philosophers. So let's see here. What are the three sides? So Ocelot pretending to work for the KGB.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He was pretending to work for the KGB. He was also pretending to
work
be
for Volgin.
Right. And meanwhile, he was working for the Philosophers /CIA.
Right. So America, KGB, Volgin's people, and the Philosophers, and potentially who fucking knows? I don't know.
It's so funny how I've seen these stories so many times, but I still understand it better each new time because it's so complicated. Like, I always remembered it as being that Eva did run off with the legacy and get it to China, but clearly that's not what happened. Instead, the United States stole it back. It was like a double.
It was some amount of cross.
It was on the United States side. It was
do-
like a double, triple cross.
I do like recasting Ocelot as like Krychek from X-Files, where he's just working for everybody.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Community?
Yeah, for a number of seasons. Like
there
3
was
or 4.
I think it was in season 3 where Jeff is pretending to be taking a class called like Conspiracies 101, and it's a fake class that he made up, and they're trying to teach him a lesson on not to do that by like getting him wrapped up in uncovering this conspiracy, where the end lesson is don't make a bunch of fake classes. But it ends with the dean like having double-crossed and triple-crossed everybody so many times that he can't remember whose side he's supposed to be on. And the lesson is stop double-crossing everybody because he gets all confused and he can't keep anything straight. It's very funny. That's sort of how I feel about watching Ocelot like be on everyone's side. And it's like, can't you just? Is it even helpful? Like, is it even helping you to be on everyone's team?
Well, Keith, remember in Metal Gear Solid 4, we're gonna go back to the future where Ocelot, he's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Really?
Because he's got, oh no, he's been taken over by Liquid, remember? He's Liquid Ocelot.
Right, yes,
Because of the
right.
arm.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
The Colt single action.
Is there,
army.
but Ocelot's got to be out there. The
Greatest
real Ocelot's got to be
handgun
out there
ever
somewhere,
made.
right?
Oh, there's only one way to find out.
Look, maybe it's just under the eyes.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Hey, I don't remember that. Lectarn. And I remember before they turned off the online service for this game, I'm pretty sure there were extra bonus camos you could download to a memory card, but I've lost the time.
Wow.
Well, actually, they might be on my PS3 internal hard drive, but close enough to being lost to time.
Do you have any final thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 3 before we close this chapter forever?
You know, I ultimately, and I think this is the magic of the ending of Metal Gear Solid 3, ultimately I feel good about it, though there was definitely some dark times in the middle there where it was hard to make progress. We brought it home, and Bardock is dabbing.
Yeah, I definitely feel better about the game at the end than I did 2 hours from the end.
Yeah.
But it's not like Metal Gear Solid 2, where at the halfway point, I was like, do I even like this? By 75%, I was like, this is great. And then by the end, I was like, this is fantastic.
Still, ultimately, of the 3 solids we've played, I wouldn't call any of them perfect.
Hanarkid says, pretty sure Eva was not a philosopher, just a Chinese spy. She said that she was in a philosopher school, at a philosopher charm school.
Yeah.
And that she was... First, she said she was a philosopher. Then she said she was an agent of the philosophers, which I don't really know what this distinction is.
Well,
but
the part that I missed here, I never understood what the hell the philosophers were doing in Metal Gear 3. And I think now I understand what they're trying to say was that, before either the First and or Second World War, the philosophers were one organization that ruled over most of the world.
Right,
and then
yes,
after
totally.
the World Wars, they split up, and there was the American arm of the philosophers and the Soviet arm of the philosophers and the Chinese arm of the philosophers.
yeah, this is the important thing of the boss, the boss monologue is when she says the world used to be whole. What she's talking about is the world used to be run by the philosophers.
There used to be a one
in
world,
a good way,
a one world government.
right? In a good way. And it's now it's run by these fractionalized philosophers that are fighting each other in a bad way. And she, her cover at least was wanting to go back to how it used to be, which doesn't seem ideal. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that the boss has a lot of heady thoughts about the role of soldiers and their relationship to their mission and nations, but I don't think she ultimately has a strong feeling about politics broadly, how nations are governed.
Yeah. Well, again, it's hard because almost everything that she says is in character as Vulcan boss.
It's always hard to know how much of what she's saying she really believes. I think the boss is honestly written that almost everything she says she really does believe. I think there's only a few things that are outright lies.
I don't know. I think it's the opposite. I think that there's probably tinges to everything, but the easiest way to tell a lie is to tell a lie that's as close as possible to the truth.
Right, yeah.
Sort of thing. But
Classic.
But
Gotta get that grain of truth in there.
But I think if you can extrapolate anything from Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 1 and apply that to the apply it genealogically to the sort of Big Boss Snake thread, it's that it fundamentally doesn't matter what they believe because they've been recruited as a tool and they have to act in the best interest of their user. Again, I don't know why they believe this. I don't know why they believe that. I don't know why they go like, I am a soldier and I am a warrior on the battlefield and my job is to fulfill a I don't understand.
I think it's that thing of like in order to be able to survive mentally and psychologically in this line of work, like this is the psychic armor you have to put on. Otherwise, if you start caring about what your work means and who it's really serving, then you'll go crazy and you won't be able to keep doing the job anymore. Like it'll bother you too much that all the stuff you're doing isn't that good.
Yeah, then it just gets to like, then why are you here?
Then
what
why
are you doing
here? Yeah.
Surely they can find a maniac who just likes this kind of stuff. Like, why do you have to be this sort of like...
Because, Keith, Volgan is the maniac who likes this kind of stuff, but he's totally uncontrollable. He can't be controlled by the philosophers because he's a maniac.
That's like a deeply liberal understanding of the, like,
bad news.
I have to be the hand of evil because my evil hand is guided by a distaste for evil. Like, that's psychotic.
What a thrill with darkness.
Well,
that's why 2 is the best, because it doesn't deal with any of that stuff. It sidesteps it by having Raiden dealing with his like identity crisis while the Patriots go like TikTok is destroying the world.
So the next game in the series,
TikTok destroying the world, parentheses positive.
Well, so the next game was Portable Ops, like I mentioned. Then after that is 4. And 4, as it was conceived and constructed, was meant to be the final Metal Gear game. So it is meant to wrap this whole thing up.
Are we playing Portable Ops?
I think that game is too long and clunky and unfun to play, but we should watch like a movie version of the cutscenes or something.
Yeah, sure. Chair Warrior Destroy says they did find a maniac who likes this stuff. It's Big Boss's son. Okay, that's fair. What, Liquid Snake, you mean? Yeah.
I thought maybe they meant Solid Snake.
Oh, maybe, but Liquid Snake seems to be the really passionate one. Because Solid Snake has the same thing of like, I'm just a soldier. I just go where they tell me.
Yeah. Well,
it's my responsibility.
No, he has a change of heart at the end of 1.
At the end of 1, but he spends 1 in that sort of. So,
we were supposed to order dinner like an hour ago or something. But
no, that was only like 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to come back and poke around at the bonus disc? Or?
We're going to come back and poke around at the bonus disc, but we are going to leave to eat some food. The chat is telling us to play Peace Walker. We're absolutely not skipping Peace Walker.
No.
That is, as far as I'm concerned, that's like one of the main games.
Especially because I really want to re-experience that story. I've only seen it once, and I remember kind of like not getting it at the time, and now I think I would enjoy it a lot more. Yeah.
You didn't get it?
I know. Hard to believe I didn't get a
I don't know. I understand that they get more complicated, and as the games go on, they just pile layers and layers on top of what is already sort of like a convoluted story.
Peace Walker does make an attempt to kind of break away.
Yeah. But
same for 5, I guess.
But I have to say, I don't feel like I've struggled to follow these games so far. I'm ready for that to change at a moment's notice.
Well, you had the convenience of not first experiencing these when you were in middle school or something.
True. Yes.
Makes it harder to parse when you have like childhood opinions about it. Mixed in there.
Yeah. True.
And also, it's harder when you don't have someone who's played all these games 3 times trying to re-explain the story every 2 seconds.
I wonder what this game, what these games are like to a child. What does a child do with the ending to 2 and 3?
I think, like
what child's mind is prepared for
I think
this?
I can tell you what they do is they come away thinking, I didn't get that at all. I have no idea what they're talking about, but I'm pretty sure it was really smart
sure that
and
was
really
awesome.
profound. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is like a an incredible life-changing work of art.
Yeah, I mean, art is good. Art is like that. You do not have to understand art to appreciate what it's doing to you. Pretty sure a kid would be bawling their eyes out at the ending of 3. I don't know. That's not.
I mean, come on.
I was just not that kind of kid. I
It was
think
so sad.
it was sad.
I was
but-
that kind of kid.
Yeah.
I still am that kind of kid.
No, it's not. That's not me.
What was the most recent thing that got me emotionally? Oh, I did get emotional watching the most recent F1 race.
That's really funny.
Lewis Hamilton won his first race in 3 years, Keith. It was such a big deal.
If you are a listener of Media Club Plus, where I host a show about Hunter x Hunter, you'll know that a couple episodes a little while back are pretty emotional for me.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is again not a common thing. It's rare, especially for an anime. I don't feel like a lot of anime are making me tear up.
Look at him. Oh, he got him.
I mean, if that was like my genre, there's plenty of sad anime, but that's not what I'm watching normally. I also don't have that instinct as a media consumer to be like, let me watch something really sad.
No, God, no.
No, not at all. That's
No.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
This is why I'm always confused. Like, why isn't everyone just watching comedy all the time? Obviously, laughter is the best thing you can do.
Right. Yeah. I of course, it just different tastes or whatever. But yeah, the idea of like I want to watch something that's gonna make me want to cry is like not something I can necessarily identify with.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna order some food.
Yeah.
And we'll be back
And
with
I'm
Metal Gear and then more.
Yeah, I'm excited for more Metal Gear in
Yeah.
general. Let's keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.